Hi, my name is Devon Zuegel, and I am the founder of Esmeralda Land Company. We are building a new permanent village, and we've also been part of building a pop-up village with Edge City. I wanted to share a lot about the place that has inspired much of the work that we do. The town was built 150 years ago. Because it was built before the car, it was really built around the human scale. It was built so that you could walk to the post office or to the coffee shop. Everyone bikes and walks everywhere. Something else that matters a lot to me that I thought was really cool about Chautauqua is that it was originally built by and for America's great inventors. People like Thomas Edison summered in Chautauqua with their families. One of the lessons that I draw from Chautauqua is this idea that I call the ladder of commitment. So when Chautauqua was first founded 150 years ago, they didn't say, we're going to build a town of 8,000 people. Rather, they started by having a 2-week-long event where everyone brought tents and they were just by a lakeside for 2 weeks, and they swapped books with each other. They shared ideas. They did, physical activities and like lake and outdoor activities. And by the end, they thought, man, that was such a good time. And we learned so much and we met so many people that we want to stay in touch with. Let's do this again next year. So about 5 years ago, I was walking around Chautauqua with my husband. He asked me a very simple question, which is, why aren't there more places like Chautauqua? We are now building a Chautauqua of the West in California, and it's called Esmeralda. So one thing that we want to draw from Chautauqua is its culture of lifelong learning. Like Chautauqua, we're going to have events and programming that draw certain types of like-minded people together, sort of like a bat signal in the sky for nerds who like to build things and constantly learn. A second component that's really important to us is supporting a multi-generational community. Being able to learn from people in different life stages from you is really important. A related piece to that is prioritizing pedestrians and cyclists over cars. And if you were to redesign these with pedestrians and cyclists in mind, suddenly everything can shrink down and you can have a smaller footprint, which in turn means that you can save more natural space and agricultural space outside of the development. We really want Esmeralda to be healthy by default. When you go to a cafe in Esmeralda or a restaurant, we want the food there to nourish you. Again, related to the idea of having the compact development that allows us to use most of the land in our project for recreational space, trails, racket sport. The other piece that I want to highlight is what I call the software. So in Chautauqua's case, it's that 9-week season that runs every summer. For us, it's going to be something probably somewhat similar. It'll likely run throughout the entire year because we want Esmeralda to be a place where people live full time as opposed to just a place where they summer. I do want to focus on Edge Esmeralda, which is the month-long pop-up village that I co-organized with Edge City in June. So it lasted for 30 days. It took place in a town called Healdsburg, California, which is just a bit more than an hour north of San Francisco. Out of the 1,300 people who attended, 150 of them lived at Edge Esmeralda for the entire month. And ages ranged from 6 weeks old, that was the youngest attendee, all the way to 86 years old. We really tried hard to make sure that we had a very wide age diversity and people from all stages of life. One thing that's very different about Edge Esmeralda compared to Chautauqua is that Chautauqua brings in experts from outside who come present and they leave. Edge Esmeralda, we instead invited experts and really people in our own networks who are working on interesting things to run sessions and run tracks and then stay and be attendees themselves. Ran the whole thing as a giant unconference, if you're familiar with that format, where people can add their own sessions and workshops and events to the calendar. It was really meant as a prototype for the permanent village that we are building. And I'll share a lot more details about the location of that. We were able to test out some of the ideas in a relatively lower stakes context because, if we screwed something up, at least it was only screwed up for a month. We have secured a beautiful piece of land in a town called Cloverdale. It's really your classic small American town. Here's a sense of where the property is relative to downtown. It's this really unique location where it's close enough to be part of Cloverdale, where you can bike less than 10 minutes to get into from the site to downtown. But it's far enough away where we have an opportunity to create sort of a unique feel for this new village and this new neighborhood. When they broke the news, we ended up getting a real outpouring of support from local leaders, residents, and really people from all around. a lot of developers that I know have told me that they've been really surprised by how positive a response it was. I chalk a lot of that success with the public outreach out to the fact that we really came to Sonoma County first as a community organizer first, and then a developer second. We say we're building this community, we're bringing business to the county. And by the way, to make this happen, we need to build some buildings to make it a success. And that approach has worked out really well. And I feel really lucky that I got to collaborate with Edge City to make this pop-up village happen, because I really think it was a critical piece to building the bridges that are going to allow us to build something awesome here. If you're curious, please reach out to me. My email is devon@esmeralda.org. And, if you want to sign up for the mailing list, you can get updates through that. If you go to esmeralda.org, you can sign up directly there. If you're interested, we can go for a hike. You're welcome to attend Edge Esmeralda 2025. We just decided on the dates for next year. It's going to run from May 24th to June 21st. So the very beginning of the summer, if you want to come spend either a week or a month or something in between. If you are interested in purchasing a home or a lot at some point in the future, I'd love to hear from you. And again, the best way to follow up on that is to sign up for the mailing list at our website. But if you have any specific thoughts, please also send me an email with any further thoughts that you have, because we're designing the community right now and the site layout and that sort of thing. And so hearing what it is about this that's intriguing to you, or things that you would really like to see, will directly inform the way that we design Esmeralda. So thanks for taking the time to listen to this. I'm excited to hear from you.